Hello there and welcome to my channel Novice Modelling and the Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy and today we're going to be doing a quick what's in the box review on my TAMIYA 135 scale 32047 British LRDG command car for North Africa with 7 figures, which as you can see here is produced in conjunction with Masterbox, which we'll get into shortly. So as per normal, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read the basic information about this truck as provided by TAMIYA. So here we go. The military value of motor vehicles in desert terrain had been proved to some extent during World War I. British forces had used such vehicles as Rolls-Royce armoured cars and Ford Model T light trucks with great success. One British staff officer who was greatly influenced was Archibald Wavell, and when he became one of the British Army's senior generals in the late 1930s, he was receptive to ideas using small motorised units. In October 1935, Lieutenant Fox Davis of the Durham Light Infantry wrote to General Wavell and suggested using guerrilla-type troops to operate behind the enemy lines. Wavell thought motor guerrillas would be a good idea, and in 1936 he had Fox Davis placed in command of a unit which was sent behind the enemy lines with great success in a military exercise. A British group of explorers led by R.A. Bagnold made many expeditions into the desert in the late 1930s from Egypt, studying the desert and its characteristics and perfected ways of navigating across the vast desert wastes like a mariner at sea. In 1940, Italy declared war on Great Britain, and the Italian forces in Libya posed an immediate potential threat to British in Egypt and to the Suez Canal, the gateway in the east. General Wavell was the British commander-in-chief in Egypt at the time, and he took R.A. Bagnold into the army as an officer and gave him the job of forming a motor patrol. The LRDG was very much like a private army, formed to meet the peculiar conditions of desert warfare. Major Bagnold, as he then was, acquired suitable vehicles, and the Chevrolet 15 CWT truck used by the Egyptian army suited his needs. Sorry, I've got a bit of a sore throat today. This was a standard platoon truck on a Canadian-built Chevrolet chassis fitted with desert tyres and with an open body big enough to hold the stores and equipment needed for long trips into the desert. For desert operations with a heavy load, they had extra leaves inserted into the springs, desert tyres, wireless, and a condenser fitted on the running board and connected to the radiator to conserve cooling water. Doors and door pillars were removed, extra spare wheels fitted, and pintle mounts were added for machine guns and anti-tank rifles. The load carried might be up to 2 tons, consisting of food, fuel, ammunition, water, and explosives for demolition work. Sand mats of canvas and steel channels were carried to assist vehicles through the many shifting sands and dunes. A sun compass was usually carried on the dashboard. Bagnold's invention, and theodolites and sextants were used to fix positions. The long-range desert group's task for most of the time was watching, waiting, plotting enemy movements and reporting back by radio. The LRDG took delivery of new vehicles in May 1942, namely 30 CWT trucks with military general surface steel bodies. These were sturdier than the original type of vehicle and more capacious. Built by Chevrolet Canada, these were simply desert surface version of the standard production Chevrolet types. Because the LRDG was made up of volunteers, it never really had regimental status. The men wore whatever clothes were comfortable, beards and other non-regulation military practices were common, adding much to the piratical, basically they were pirates, flavour and swashbuckling images of the LRDG force. So now we're going to have a quick look at the instructions. Now this particular kit that I've got is the 32047, which was produced in 2013 and currently I don't believe is actually in production. That basically results in a rather high price that you pay for this. There was also another issue in 2009 which came with a breeder 20mm Italian anti-aircraft gun, which is 89785, which I also have, and they're all based basically on a 1976 moulding which was 35092. Which is equally hard to get hold of as well. So anyway, we're going to have a quick look at the instructions. The instructions and the main sprues that you get, in my opinion, are basically 35092. So anyway, in the first section of the instructions, we are going to look at the assembly of the chassis, attachment of the wheels. We've got the bumper here. Number 5, we're going to start putting on the front section, the mud guards and the bonnet and the lights and the seat and assembly of the dashboard. Section 6, we're going to start putting some of the small extra attachments on, and we're going to look at our driver. Here is our driver and our machine gunner. On the 7, we're going to put the rear loading bay on, this radio here as well. Section 8, we're going to be finishing off the rear loading bay with some other attachments, including these sand channels. Then we're going to fit our Lewis machine gun in. We're going to fit this battery on and a few other attachments. And in section 10, we're just basically finishing off. And after we've painted, hopefully we're going to end up with something like this. Rather nice. We have a useful set of painting diagrams here where we can actually put our stencils, identification numbers on. And we have an alternate with a sort of basic camouflage style as well. So let's now have a quick look at the sprues that we get hold of. So this, in my opinion, is the basic kit, which is the 1976 moulding 35092. It comes with 2 figures. Now, obviously, the thing with Tamiya figures from this sort of era is they're not exactly great by modern standards, but were sort of cutting edge at the time, in my opinion, as a novice. So they actually look reasonable. You've got detail on the shoes. You've got some sort of expressions on the faces, which are 2 different ones. You've got very basic sort of detail on the uniforms, etc., etc. One of them comes with a steel helmet. These 2 parts here are the front lights. Then we move on to the bonnet. This section here is the rear of the driver's compartment. The main body of the truck has some quite nice detail on it. I mean, you can obviously see the radiator here. You've also got some nice detail on this grating of the floor. The seat I quite like. As you can see, it's got some sort of ripples that actually, you know, sort of represent what a seat should look like, as opposed to it just being a flat piece of plastic. We've got the radiator. I think that's the water condenser, but I'm not 100% certain. We've got our dashboard, which is upside down here. It's got some nice detail on it. You can actually see some detail on the speedo, I think that's going to be. We've got a couple of extra sort of rolls that we can put on. On this sprue, we've got a sand channel. We've got these rods here. They're probably tent poles, I would have thought, or camouflage poles. We've got the side parts of the flatbed. We've got the base of the floor compartment, which has some nice ridges on it. I think this is going to be a radio here, which, if I'm not much mistaken, goes in one of these boxes on the other side rear. That's the rear loading hatch. Not too sure what these parts are, but that's obviously some sort of storage compartment there. On this sprue, we've got the actual chassis and the basis of the engine. We've got this might be a boy's anti-tank rifle, not exactly certain. Got a Lewis gun, a couple of rifles. Here's the hubs of our wheels, which have some detail on them. You know, compared to modern kits, they're not as good, but you know, this is what we were getting in the late 70s and 80s. We have our suspension. We've got some more duffel bags. That looks like our bumper at the front. We've got what looks like some water cans and some possibly petrol cans. We've got some sort of crate. There's our exhaust system, our steering wheel. I mean, you notice everything here is flash free. It all looks really sort of quite nice. I can't see any problems with it. Now, this sprue here, I reckon this probably comes with 35092 as well. This is 5 US jerry cans, and we've got some barrels as well, which are actually marked USA. We've also got some, these look like German jerry cans. These are obviously captured. We've got some more stowage stuff. Got some bags. That looks like a water bottle or maybe a mine and a carrying case. Got some pouches here. So again, that's basically what you get with the basic kit. I'm not 100% certain whether this comes with the original, but that's the original. This might be an addition. And then we move on to this extra set of figures, which is where the master box comes in. This is actually master box kit number MB3598, and these are the 5 figures that we see depicted on the box art here. Now when you actually compare these, let's just have a look. As you can see, the detail is quite a bit better, because obviously these are more modern figures. The detail on the weapons is better as well. But this is what you get when you buy the 2013 version, which is this particular one. So we've got the Arab style headgear. We've got a Bren gun, got another rifle. You can see some really nice detail on the shorts of this guy. Again, you can see some buckles on his boots here. All the webbing looks really nice. Got a few extra pouches, a hat. This guy appears to have a piece of cord or string in his hand. Not too sure what that's all about. It's probably from the, it's probably this guy here, and that's something to do with his binoculars, which are here. Again, we've got nice detail on the socks. We've got a Lewis gun, no sorry, an Thompson submachine gun. You can actually see quite clearly the beard on this head. Let's have a look at some of the other heads actually. There's another quite clear, quite clear beard on that one. Different expression, another bearded figure. And then we've got this guy with his beret on, which is going to be this guy. Again, he's bearded. Nice detail on all of the sleeves. You can actually see a watch on this fella as well, just there. So these are all really nice. So I mean, if you're to have the original kit 35092 or the other kit 89785 that I've got, you could obviously add MB3598 by Masterbox to this to basically make this kit, I suppose. It is also worth pointing out that there is a plethora of add-ons and resin parts that you can buy in addition to this. Oh, I forgot the tyres. This actually comes with fake rubber tyres as well, which have got some detail on them. It says General, and it's got the tyre number. And it also comes with a set of set of decals with 2 different versions, T9 and R2, with 2 different sets of identification numbers. So, I mean, it's a really nice kit, but it's really hard to get hold of, and depending on how lucky or desperate you are, I mean, you can pay, I've had a look on eBay, and you can pay from £35 to £90 for this kit on Buy It Now. So obviously some person put it up for £35 and someone's hit the buy button straight away. And the person trying to sell this for 90 has probably had it online for a while, and eventually someone will come along and they'll buy it. I bought this one and 89785 and the SAS Jeep for £130, which is quite a lot of money. But when you consider that the average price for these is sort of in the £60 to £70 market, that's a fair price, I think. You know, considering I've got two different better versions, if you like, plus I got the SAS Jeep thrown in as well. So I think that's a fair price. It wasn't a bargain at the end of the day, but it was fair. So I mean, you can get this, like I say, for 35, 40 quid, but most people still seem to be paying 60 plus. So I mean, I think we should probably get a group going and basically petition TAMIYA to start making this kit again, because I mean, it's essentially, you take the master box figures out, which you can get hold of anyway, and really it's a 35 pound kit. Why aren't they making this anymore? It's kind of ludicrous. I mean, they can make a killing. There's loads of people want to have this kit, and people are prepared to pay up to 80, 90 pound for it, you know, or 57 in my case. So come on, TAMIYA, what are you doing? Get your head out your butt and get this one back into production. That's my opinion anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. Please do like and subscribe. I'm up to about 200 odd videos now. There's about 100 odd what's in the boxes from the small mountain of kits that I have. There'll be more coming shortly. I'll probably do the kit review for this 89785 version of this with the breeder anti-aircraft gun maybe in a week or so. And I'm currently building a B-52 bomber. No, not B-52, B-29. So plenty going on my little bizarre little channel. Please do look in on me again. Be seeing you.